Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Jack Mate podcast. It's a Christmas special somehow, and today I am joined by my comedy hero, Mr. Tom Norris. How you doing, Tom?
I'm good, mate, but I'll take you, Tom Norris, and I'll raise you. Oh, Ricky Gervais!
How you doing, Ricky? You alright?
Lovely.
That took us all morning to rehearse that.
It's good. I like it. I think it's, as it's Christmas, we've got someone shaped like Santa. Honestly, I'm so fat now. It took me ages to get comfortable. Where I have to cross my legs, and that pushes all my organs up to my throat. But I think I'll get away with it. Back in your jumpers.
You still don't look that comfortable.
No, I know. You made us. Oh, as opposed to you still don't look that fat. Brilliant. That's the one you went with. Oh, you're not that comfortable. What?
Can I just say, we just did a handshake.
Yeah.
And on the last video we did, I was really proud of that. I thought it was a good video, it was quite funny. And a lot of these cunts out here, they commented on the handshake.
What was up with it?
They said it was very weak.
Mine or yours?
I think it was on because I sort of went like that.
Yeah.
Are you a firm grip?
No, because it's nonsense. I don't get that. When people go like, they just squeeze like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm tough. Well, no, I don't trust you then. Yeah, as long as it's not like horrible.
I think it was that last time.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but just normal. It's normal.
Yeah, it's like that.
There's nothing worse than the wet napkin one. That's just
I know, that's a bit.
Go on, do the that. I've never had anyone do that.
Yeah, I know who did. Yeah, well, come on, either shake my hand or don't.
Yeah.
It's awkward though, isn't it?
It's a masculinity
all those polite
thing.
things are weird because you never think of doing that.
No.
So it's something learned. It's always a bit etiquette is always a bit weird.
Yeah.
I think.
I always find the kissing a bit strange. I can't do it. I can't do that.
In a pub. Yeah. The barman. Yeah. No, I know. It is. Yeah. No, even the hug. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not a hugger.
When do you hug?
Some of my friends hug everyone goodbye. I'm just the one that's like,
That's
see you later then.
I
for the
know.
back.
Or you just want to be the first because someone goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never know what to do. Even the pressure of walking out to a chat show. Do I hug?
Yeah.
I go that way. They headbutt you.
Are you not briefed on what the way to do it is?
I don't care anymore. But in early days, when you think, what if you do something wrong or go to shake the hand and they do? It's awkward.
Yeah.
Being alive is a minefield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we've only made that for ourselves. You know what I mean? Only humans
I know.
have gone like you never see animals do that kind of shit. So it's only our fault.
They just go up. An animal just go up.
It strikes me that you said that it's awkward because I think in our last chat you mentioned that you do get awkward, but on the exterior you seem like somebody that doesn't get.
I don't get awkward in everyday life, I guess, but because I'm famous, I get awkward when someone stops and talks to me because there's an imbalance because they think they know me and they know everything about me, but I don't know them at all, so I don't act like they
are expecting you to.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the first time anyone asked me for my autograph, they were, "Can I have your autograph?" And I was newly famous, and I went, "Really?"
Yeah.
And they went, "Yeah." And I realised I made them feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, "What? You're an idiot if you want my autograph."
Yeah.
I was trying to be all sort of humble and self-deprecating. So now I go, "Yeah, sure." So it's things like that. They where was that? We were in the airport coming back from somewhere on tour. And I walked into the lounge, which is like, first class, a bit of decorum, and there's a bloke just filming me, like that, just.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Not looking at me, looking at his, just filming like that, just happily. It's like, and I want to go, for fuck's sake, but you can't because you want to go like, oh, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just another person. You don't do it to him.
Yeah.
Go and do it. Okay, no. Yeah. So it's really odd.
I'm kind of in that weird middle ground because I'm not famous, but people I've got a fair few views online, so people recognise me in the street and they'll come up to me, and the worst question I can get, they'll come up and go, "Are you famous?" If I go, "Yeah," then I look like the biggest twat.
I know, but it's odd you should say that you're not famous because it's a different demographic because you are famous. I don't know how many million views you get, but it's more than most people on the telly these days. And it's a completely different sort of fame as well. Yeah. Like walking in here, we're in YouTube headquarters. He walks through like it's Goodfellas. They go, "Hi Jack," like that. They go to me, "Can I have your pass, please?" Not my demographic. Not my demographic. You know what I mean? But it's like, but you're an elder statesman now. You know, how long has it been going, YouTube?
A while, yeah. It's over 10 years now.
And so you've been in the, how old are you?
24.
See, you're like,
I'm one of the older ones.
They look up to you.
Yeah.
These 9-year-olds that are getting 1 billion views.
What's your opinion on YouTube and stuff?
I like it. I get caught down one of those wormholes. I usually go on and I either watch I like comedy podcasts and interviews with things like that, or boxing and UFC. I like that, but it's one leads to another.
Yeah.
And then I found myself the other night watching people pull maggots out of heads.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
And I was going, oh, and they go, the next one, unbelievable. I go, let's have a look at that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it wasn't enough. Soon I was going, I want a snake being pulled out of an eye. Right? It's a maggot. Seen it. Rubbish. I want the head to just fall apart and this lizard come out.
Yeah,
I know it's
I saw
weird.
a woman jump off of a cliff once and then hit her head right on the angle, and her head like split open like that. And then after seeing that, I've seen it all now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know where.
I can't watch those. When someone really gets hurt, I can't even watch those skateboard sort of. I think, well, that's going to really.
Yeah.
They say no one got hurt. It was just embarrassing. You know, everyone wants to see a fat bloke fall down the stairs. Everyone. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yes, you do. You don't even know it yet. You don't know it.
Cue fat bloke falling down the stairs. But do you know what I mean? I don't want the. I can't watch the real awful pain and anguish and that. Maggot out of the head. There's something therapeutic about that. Because it's getting rid of it.
It's the release.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I found myself going, I wish I had a maggot in the head. That'd be great to pull that out, wouldn't it? You know.
Surprisingly, I don't have a follow-up question to maggot in the head. I didn't know that was going to come up.
No, I know.
It's like those pop and spot ones. So you get the ones where it's just the black head there, and they're like that, and it's just calming and calming. You're like,
I got onto that as well. Biggest blackhead ever.
Yeah.
And it was like a lump of grit, and they were just pulling it. Million views.
Christmas special. Watch that around the table.
Merry Christmas. Okay, now. Yeah, that's the good thing about YouTube.
Yeah.
There's no one in your ear going, this is awful. Take it off. It goes on.
Yeah.
It goes on, mate.
Have you seen many vloggers? Are you familiar with the world of vloggers?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Do you find that a fascinating thing?
Well, it depends. I'm fascinated by them. You see, things like that have been good to me because, I've always been fascinated with that, that everyday person becoming famous. The office, apart from working in an office for 10 years, that sort of came out and we watching those quaint docu-soaps. Do you know what I mean? When an ordinary guy was followed round, and I thought that was the peak of it, but it's not. And now it's people doing anything to be famous, and anyone can become famous. It's YouTube presumably is the biggest broadcaster in the world, isn't it? Probably. So it does fascinate me, and obviously, I mean, I like it. Somewhat ironically, it's like wiggling a tooth. Like I've seen you do shows about like complete twats. Yeah. They go on there and it's like they're talking about their muscles and you want to go, what are you doing? When did that happen? But presumably they're popular as well, aren't they?
It's mad. Yeah,
it is. It is odd.
Does that kind of you're not a bitter person, but does it piss you off that you see some vloggers who do very little and they get millions and millions of views, and then you're there, you've sort of crafted your art for many years, you've written these stand-up shows, these sitcoms.
No, it doesn't. No, because it's not part of my world. It's not my demographic, whatever that means. But no, because it's like it's also. There's no way you can calibrate it. It's not a reflection of how good it is. It's a reflection of how popular it is. And, I've added to videos of people pulling maggots out of their heads. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's how much it's worth, right? And I don't mean that just in a monetary sense, but I think that people have a morbid desire to see things they don't even like. So it's no reflection on how good something is.
It's like that live leak. Are you familiar with that?
What's that?
It's like a website in which you can see...
I feel like your granddad. You teach me the ways of the modern world.
Lively.
I know, yeah. Yeah, look, here he goes again. Look at that.
No, Live Leak?
I don't know what Live Leak is.
Live Leak? Yeah? Live Leak, John?
No.
Okay, maybe it's just me then. Maybe I've made this up. But no, it's a website in which you can go on, and the first page you come to is like you're accepting all these T's and C's for the shit you are about to see, and that is kind of like the YouTube for the videos that can't be on YouTube. If that makes sense. So there's like
I'm already frightened.
ISIS beheadings.
Oh fuck!
There's people try, and for some reason I think I've done it before, like years ago, but like. I've been on there, I've had a binge, and then afterwards I think, why the fuck did my brain tell me I want to see that?
Yeah, I don't want to see it really. But no, it's like the dark web. I don't know where that is or where it exists or how, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't got that sort of curiosity for seeing the worst things in the world.
Yeah.
You know. No, I think it's another form of communication. It's another choice. I think it's great. It's vast. You know, you shouldn't complain about too much choice.
Yeah.
It's odd. You know, I see people they've got like 300 channels on the TV and they're all rubbish. I go, well, don't watch the rubbish ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that you should never really complain about too much choice.
It's the thing that gets me, and it's not that I disagree with it, but these people that come to such a level of fame just by filming their life. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
There's sacrifice to that, isn't it? That you're
Oh,
sacrificing.
they're putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. They're doing it every single day.
Also, I don't know where it ends, because I think those people who do live their life like an open wound and do anything to get a bit of fame and money, they regret it because there's no respect there. Just to, and these people that think, well, they look at film stars or whatever, or pop stars, and they think, well, they're rich and they're happy and everyone loves them, I want a bit of that. But they forget the bit that made them rich and happy and people love them is that they really worked hard, or they're a great songwriter, or they're a great singer, and they just want to cut out the middleman and go, well, I don't want to do all that stuff that's hard and good. I just want to I'm a face, straight to my face, straight to the red carpet, straight, you know. And it's an easy mistake to make, and I can see why it's attractive. You know, people says, oh, do you want to work hard for 6 years and become a doctor, or just be famous now and get money for nothing? And they do that, but you've still got you produce a good product. I think it's interesting, and just the fact that the work that's gone into it, all the questions, the fact that you're bothering, you are trying to create something. You're creating stuff as good as most TV shows. It's just on YouTube instead of TV. It ends up here anyway.
Yeah. Do you think one day we'll see that?
Well, I don't know. What do you think personally? Because you even sort of apologised. You said, "Well, I know I'm not really famous," and you are. But do you want TV to validate it in a way? In a way, if they said we're doing a TV show about your blogging life, you'd take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's sort of like going, now I'm real.
Yeah. It's weird though, because I think my opinion on it has changed over the years, because when I was younger I got approached by BBC Three, and it's probably one of my biggest regrets really. I did a show about moving out for the first time. Oh, can you live without your mum and dad? Like that. It was called Hotel of Mum and Dad, and me and my girlfriend at the time did it, and it was just like really fake. Like they basically went, oh, he's only started on YouTube, he only makes £40 a month or whatever, like, can you do it? And then when it went out, I was kind of like, I'm going to be validated as a YouTuber because they've done this show about me and stuff like that. But it's not. If anything, it's the opposite. Like when I look back on it, I find it cringy, and I found.
Well, that's the problem as well. It's like, you know, you are sort of opening yourself to be laughed at in a way.
Yeah.
If you do those reality shows, there's no good ending really, because even if you come out wow, people don't take you seriously because they go, well, he's not real. He was a So it's sort of a vicious circle, and if you're not in control of the edit, you're at their mercy. I knew a guy who was a manager of a band, right? And the band had sort of gone with someone else, and he got approached by a BBC Radio to be part of a documentary talking about this, right? And when it came out on air, the documentary series was called Life Losers. And he was one of those because he was talking about losing, and he didn't know that.
Wow.
So it's how it's packaged as well.
Yeah.
Just like newspapers. If newspapers say something you do and they go, oh, what a great guy for doing this, right? The comments are great. If they say what an idiot for doing the same thing, the comments are terrible.
Yeah.
So they sort of taint your or they set out the stall for how you're meant to be perceived.
Yeah.
And that's what's dangerous. Whereas here, you control your own labour, and that's the advice I'd give to anyone in any walk of life. If you can own your own labour and do it on your terms, you'll be happier. Even whether you make more or get more views or whatever, if it's your thing, it makes you 10 times more happier. I think that, and I think happiness is the only aim. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, people try and take that shortcut to happiness and get it wrong. But if they thought about it, why am I doing this? Well, it's to be happy. And so if you don't need to do this to be happy. If doing this makes you happy, then fine. But don't work out what you think can make you happy. Just go cut out the middleman and be happy.
Has there ever been a project where you are writing it, but you have had to tick certain boxes, and you've kind of taking your creativity somewhere where you didn't want to go?
To pander to a certain...
Yeah, not like Andy and Extras, but like, you know...
No, outside the sort of laws of the land and broadcast laws. No, I've never done that. But you have to go within the guidelines.
Sure.
You can't just go mental on daytime TV and you go, well, what's up with swearing? Well, it's not allowed. It's simple as that. You can swear if you want, but you'll be kicked off. And there's no victory in going on this morning and going cunt. It's like you do it once, sure, but
that's Holly's catchphrase.
Exactly. Yeah, but so. No, I try and, but I like constraints. I like working within the rules because it gives me how far can I go? Because if you can do anything, well, there's no such thing as cutting edge or boundary. If you do anything, no one cares, right? So I like working within that framework. Even if I play a game, I go, what are the rules? And I want to go, how can I beat the system? So I like there being a system for me to beat, if that makes sense.
With writing stand-up, I know I came and saw your show in Manchester, and obviously you mentioned about...
Didn't even say how good it was.
I mean, no,
that's the other thing when people come up the street and they go, saw your show, and I go, oh, thanks. And I think they haven't said whether they liked it or not yet. They could go, it was awful. I go, cheers anyway.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. You mentioned in the show about Jane sometimes getting a bit worried with your new material and sometimes like looking over it and stuff. And has she ever actually made you take a joke out or made you change a joke in fear of the...
No, I do run things by her because I think, is this okay?
Yeah.
And she might say, oh, I don't know, because we're usually worried. We're not usually worried about breaking the law or saying something that I don't really believe. The only thing that stops me doing something is really hurting someone's feelings who doesn't deserve it. So if I'm going after pretension, pomposity, someone's behaviour, whatever, that's fine. Whereas I try not to go after things that people can't help.
Yeah.
So I don't do racist jokes or sexist jokes or homophobic jokes or that's not to say I don't talk about race, sex, homophobia. I do. I talk about that, but there's a difference. It's what side you come down on, and it's not the subject of a joke that counts. It's the target. But what I don't laugh at someone's bereavement or so. I don't find it funny personally. And even if there's a great joke out there, I think I don't go there because they don't deserve that. So I sort of like my targets to be fair, and that's not to do with being popular, because you say things that you mean and that are safe that still make you unpopular. Some people are offended by equality. But you mustn't pander to that.
Going on that, what your basis of going for someone who's a fair target, I wanted to know your opinion on the backlash James Corden got about Weinstein, because obviously Weinstein deserves any kind of criticism and whatnot. But then he had such a bad backlash from the joke. I wanted to know if it was because it was a shit joke.
It was.
It was a shit joke.
It was. If you can go after contentious issues, but they better be good. You better be on the right side, and you better be clear. And to a certain extent, it better be the right time as well, because you've got to be very confident if you're dealing with anything taboo or contentious. You've got to put the work in. I don't just go out there and try and ruin people's lives or undermine the moral fabric of America. The jokes are thought out, and that's why I can stand by them, because it doesn't mean people they still might get the wrong end of the stick, but I've done my best. It's not someone not getting my joke isn't my fault.
Well, what do you think of this? Because I posted a tweet last night, and I think you really know about offence and context quite a lot, and I have to agree with everything you say, and that's why I look up to you as a comedian. But I posted something on Twitter last night. It wasn't so much a joke, but just more of a statement, and people got offended by it and said that I was, and I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but people said that I was taking the piss out of suicide. I said about YouTubers sometimes call themselves social media influencers. And I think it's a very arrogant way to say it. There's so many different words you can say. So I just posted a kind of semi-joke that said, if you refer to yourself as a social media influencer, in a way you're right, because you're influencing me to take up heroin or suicide by doing that. And somebody said that was taking the piss out of suicide.
No.
But then I made the reference that if you tell your mum that her cooking is so bad it makes you feel sick. You're not taking the piss out of vomit. You're not taking the piss out of the act. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like,
no, that is fair enough. Yeah, you're using a very dark simile to exaggerate your point, and that's what comedy usually is. It's exaggeration.
Yeah.
So when you say something like, "Oh my God, I was starving," you don't mean you're literally starving. It's that's a very dark thing to say.
Yeah.
You're not starving. There are people that starve, and you go, "Well, okay, no, I didn't literally." so yeah, no, you that's not saying you can equate dark things to less dark things, because that's what poetry is. That's what an analogy is. It's exaggerating something to get your point across. So no, there's no way you were making fun of suicide then. You may be using it in a trivial sense, and you may think people, remind them of bad things that happen to them. But again, that's not quite your problem, because everything reminds people of things. It basically. Bad things happen to people, and that's not our fault. You don't want to rub salt in the wound, or like I can do a joke about a very dark thing, and someone in the audience, it might have happened to them. I didn't know that. If I went out there and said, "Hands up, who's had something really go," that's different. That's a very different thing. But I think that's a classic example of someone getting offended because they've mistaken the subject of a joke with the actual target. The target was not that subject. The subject was you being so annoyed at pretentious YouTubers. I think that's clear. Okay? And I remember when I first was on Twitter, I did a joke, and if one person was offended, I'd delete it, and I think, oh, that's not what I meant. And I think, well, hold on though. And then people would go, the rest of us got it. So you've also got a duty to the intelligent people who get it. If you cut every joke that might offend someone, there are no jokes in the world. Literally, someone, why did the chicken cross the road? Hey mate, my chicken died last night. Come on.
I'm a vegan.
So you do your best. But back to James Corden, I think he bounced out in a sort of light entertainment way and then tried to do, taboo crunching things. It wasn't quite him. The jokes weren't quite up to scratch.
Fucking a pot plant.
There wasn't a real joke. It's like, I deal in those dark subjects all the time, but I want to say, don't try this at home. Do you know what I mean? Because there is a skill to it, and I do feel a responsibility. I'm not one of these people that thinks, comedy is your conscience taking a day off. My conscience never takes a day off. I can justify every joke. And I probably talk about it too much and defend it too much. I should just go, whatever. But I don't want people to think that I'm one of those people that go, oh, it was a joke. Because I don't do that either. I don't go, it was a joke. It's a joke, and this is why it's all right. I think that's what you must be able to say at the end of the day.
So if you would have said those same jokes, do you think you can get away with more because you're a slightly edgier comic? I
think people. You could certainly say that when it's a closed club. Like, people who come into my gigs have no right to say, "Oh, I didn't know he'd talk about AIDS and famine and cancer." You should know. And two. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Even in this show now, I say, a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. But I don't rely on them going, everyone knows who he is and he's joking. I still think that the joke has an afterlife, because taken out of context, that joke's still got to stand up for itself, and it often doesn't. Any one line in this current show would be horrendous out of context. But in context, everyone there knows the build-up, knows why I'm saying it. They've got the backstory. They've been taken on a journey. It's like if you went out and shouted a punchline to someone, you'd be like, I don't get it.
That's mental.
You have to be there for the whole joke, and sometimes the lead up to the joke. And I think the problem was, if you really do deal in taboo subject, it's got to be good, and you've got to be on the right side. It's a skill. It is a skill.
100%.
I think people think that you just go out there and you shout things, whereas I work on a joke or a routine for months. Longer than a journalist takes to say how terrible it was. They've taken a few minutes to look at this joke and I've been. This is bulletproof. This gag. and you have got to be bulletproof because for when it is taken out of context.
Do you feel like because the world that we're in now, 2017, is much different to say when The Office was released?
It is different.
Do you think it's almost impossible to say, but do you think if The Office was released now, would it be perceived much differently?
Or would all jokes stay in there?
Well, no, it's not that it'd be. People haven't changed that much, but how people pander to people have changed. So it would be the same, cross section of humanity watching this and either getting it or not on it. Mm-hmm. But in those days, I wasn't scared of taking a complaint and telling them why they were wrong. Now, if the BBC or someone gets a complaint, close it down. Yeah. We had the complaint, like me on Twitter in the early days. Yeah. Whereas you should be able to stand up and say, well, no, I'll tell you why this is okay. And some people just want to be heard. Like I worked in my real job. One of the things I used to do was like customer care training and all that as part of my job. And some people would complain, and all they wanted you to do was call them back. And you'd say, oh, sorry about that, and they go, oh, thanks for calling. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think people just want to think that they're listened to and they're taken seriously. And they've had a long time of if you've had a life of not having that done, you want to make a difference. That's what a heckler is. That's what a troll is.
They just want their moment.
They want their moment. That's why people join terrible, awful, offensive fringe groups, because they think, well, I'm something now. Yeah. At least I'm making the news. Well, you're dressed as Hitler. Of course you've made the news. No, it doesn't make you good.
Yeah, a dog in a Hitler costume would make the news.
Exactly, yeah. I think people think, well, there's no difference now between fame and infamy. People have thought that cavemen used to blow woad on their hand and leave their print. I was here. Yeah. And that's what all this is. That's what people just want to go, I was here. Yeah. And they just want to be part of the causal web. They want to think they made a difference.
Did you get many hecklers on the Humanity tour?
I think I got one.
Really?
I think I got one.
Do you react? Or do you just...
No, I try and ignore it, but this guy was persistent. And what was he shouting? He was shouting something. Oh, it was really... Okay. It was really awkward. Because I do a bit about why I don't have kids, right? And it's really... I go crazy. You know about it, the reason I don't have kids. And it gets more and more weird and terrible and offensive. And I started to think about that again. And I don't get hecklers at all. I think I've created an environment where they don't bother. You know, they're there to listen. And it's a show, and it's a thoughtful show. And he went, wait. I went, what? He went, it's a tragic waste of talent. I went, shut the fuck up, you cunt. Right? Right? He went, no, I don't know. Shut the. And all the audience clapped and laughed because you're always going to win, right? Yeah. Right? And he was drunk. I said, fucking hell. And I got on. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about doing the routine, and I was thinking, oh, fuck. Maybe he was being nice. Oh, yeah. Maybe he was going, oh, it's a waste because I like you and you should have a kid. And this started preying on my mind. So now I feel like a fucking arsehole that I've shut up. Right. And when I had a break, I said, sorry, mate, did you mean that? He went, yeah, that's what I meant. I went, I'm so sorry I called you a cunt. Right. He went, yeah. I went, but still, don't even interrupt to be nice. Because it's, and then at the end I followed on. Because I just couldn't find him sitting there going, oh, I really was enjoying the show. And I said something nice and he called me a cunt and everyone laughed. So, like, even though he interrupted the show and annoyed me and ruined my flow, I still thought, oh, God, maybe he was being nice and just didn't know how to... So I'm very conscious of that. And the nearer the punchline, the more it ruins the joke. And shut the fuck up, basically. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, right? But I still think it has to be proportionate. I think if someone sort of shouts something, we love you, Ricky, you don't go, die of cancer! It's still...
Really ruin the Christmas meal.
You're still a human being.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I don't forget I'm a person.
I saw you in Cambridge, great show, and when I saw you, there's a woman next to us who's like, I think some people put the laugh on because they want you to reference it. There's like animal noises.
They heighten it.
Like, no one laughs like that.
No, I know what you mean. So again, people want to go. They almost want you to go, who's got that weird laugh?
Yeah.
And
Come up here.
I do try and ignore it, anyone who's sort of attention seeking. I do it on Twitter as well. Attention seeking is the most annoying thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
They can say awful things, right? And if they mean it, it doesn't annoy me as much as if they... Again, early days, someone say something after me, I'd slam them, and they go, "Oh, I just got a hero." I go, "What? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you rather be thought of as a complete fucking moron than not noticed?"
Jack Howard said the exact same thing.
That's
didn't
the
he?
way of the world. People would rather be known as a fucking idiot than not known at all. And I don't know when that happened. Maybe it's always been around, but now we can watch, every toilet wall in the world at once on Twitter, and we see it more. Same as complaints. 20 years ago, if you saw something you didn't like on the BBC, get out a pen and paper and go, "Dear BBC, I can't be fucking bothered."
yeah.
But now you can fire off a tweet, and that makes the news, particularly if you're a famous person. Tweets make the fucking news.
Yeah.
How mad is that?
It's mad.
That's what I do when there's opinions. So they go, "Well, so and so didn't like it." There's one bloke. And why is he on the news? Not liking a film or something.
Yeah.
Scranton 143 thought the new Spider-Man was a bit boring. Don't put fucking some Scranton on the fucking news. It validates him.
Yeah.
Don't go
Everyone
there.
starts going, "Who's Scranton?" Well, Scranton didn't like it.
Yeah. I bet there is now someone started Scranton 143 already.
Yeah.
I actually love Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly, Oh, God.
Quality. Just go back to humanity for a second. What was one city, one place that, obviously you've got the big ones like Manchester, London, LA. Was there one that you didn't particularly expect to be as giving as an audience?
They're all great, and they got better and better, probably because the show gets better and better, and you get better and better, and oh God, let's think. Belfast was great. Was great.
Yeah.
They love the IRA stuff, and I was nervous about it, and I went phew, like, and they laughed more because same as Dublin. Dublin was great. Dublin was amazing. Manchester, they've all been great. A big surprise. Oh, I'm usually worried about the big arenas because I think it's not really the place for comedy. I love that theatre vibe, but Dublin proved me wrong. First of all, that was like 10,000, and then I did Copenhagen. You're worried about the language barrier, and that was like 13,000, and they were amazing. They got everything. I mean, the screens almost make it slightly more intimate in a way. And the sound's so much better these days. It's not like playing an aircraft hangar. They've got, So I worry about that. You worry about a day of the week. I don't like playing weekends in England because of the drinking culture. Cause I don't want people to go along because I'm on the telly and they can have a drink.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want people to go along and treat it like a theatre show and they want to get some out of it. So, I sort of play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in England, and then I don't worry so much around the world.
Do you think a lesser comedian, I don't think you can particularly blame them, but like a lesser comedian might have the opposite view on that? They want them weekend gigs?
Well, they do want the weekend because they're easy to sell.
Oh, okay.
They're easy to sell, yeah. I make it twice as hard for myself selling out a world tour by not, doing weekend gigs. But I'd rather... The thing is, I'd rather do 4 Wembleys, right? Everyone was there, they loved it, they can't believe their luck, than 5 Wembleys, and all the people on that Saturday night were going because they liked a bit of me in the Muppets and they could have a drink with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They took along there. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't. I know how many tickets do you really want to sell? Do you know what I mean? It's like I can always go back. I can go back next Thursday if they want to come. They can come. So you don't want to prize people out of there. You want people. You see, I do gigs and it goes on sale. They sell out in a minute. If I put another gig on and it sells out in an hour, right? If I put it on, if I think the next one will take 2 days, I think that's getting people that aren't really fans a chance to come along, and I don't do it. Yeah. So I've got other things to do. It's not my only source of income, So I don't have to, and also because I can play around the world, I don't have to prize out every single person in Britain. Britain's like a third of my output because I'm luckily I can play everywhere in the world.
Is it your favourite thing to do?
It is now.
Yeah. It
is my favourite thing to do. It used to be my 3rd or 4th favourite thing to do. I always thought of myself as like a writer, director, performer, and I thought that stand-up was something I should do, and I loved, and this last tour, it is my favourite thing I do.
Is that not because if you've got your fingers in all these different pies, that's the last pie you ate? Do you know what I mean? Is it hard not to always go back to the last thing?
There's lots of reasons why I think this is my favourite thing.
Yeah.
It's my favourite tour because I think it's my best show.
Yeah.
I think it's my best show because I approached it differently. I approached it like a real stand-up. My first sort of 4 tours, I sort of wrote and I went out and practiced them and got good. It was, but this one I walked out on the stage with a few things on the back of my hand, and it was really organic.
Right.
I think it was the best because I'm older, and that sounds odd, but I think it does take you 15 years to be a good stand-up. I think I got there. I've got a voice. It's being honest. I've got nothing to prove. I think it's my favourite because people know me now. They've known me for 15 years, so I can get away with more. And they just like amongst mates, when you do those sort of jokes with mates, you don't go, "Sorry, I don't really mean that." They go, "I know you don't really mean that." Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they know me.
Yeah.
But I think what hit me is the privilege, the privilege that I can say anything I want, right? And there's nothing anyone can do about it. And that, with that comes a responsibility, and I hope I've taken that on. But it's because. And the world's changed. In the 7 years I didn't last, there does seem to be a bigger responsibility for comedians these days to tell the truth because of all the fucking lies.
Because you've got people like Donald Trump, chatting absolute shit.
It's unbelievable, this post-truth era. I think everyone has the responsibility now. It's almost like it's made us kids grow up. We're idiots. We want the world to be lovely so we can run around and be a fucking idiot. But when the people in charge are acting more like a fucking child than you are, you've got to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If your parents aren't responsible, you better be responsible.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I sort of I feel that nowadays. And but that the vote is split, and I do try and keep politics out of comedy as much as I can. That's my own personal opinion, and I'm myself on Twitter and in places like this. I will say what I think. But if you're relying on a round of applause from an audience that just agree with you, that loses something comedically. So I don't go explicitly party political. I talk about things like ego and truth and nonsense, and so I do it that way. But I don't think I name any politicians in humanity, even though I talk about the politics of the day and what's different and why the world's getting worse. It's not because I'm scared of offending people or going alongside. It's just that I think my first real commitment is to comedy. I'm charging them to see comedy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a lecture.
Yeah.
And they go, "Well, thanks very much, mate, but we wanted to laugh."
Yeah. And there's so many people making these sort of Trump jokes and stuff like that now. It's kind of an easy target. I find if ever I tweet anything negatively about Trump, I get a lot of people go, "Yeah, good one. We've heard it all before." Do you know what I mean?
And that's true. I mean, to a certain degree, I think that it's beyond a joke. There's something to be said for I don't want to joke about it.
Yeah.
It's getting serious now.
It was weird because at the start it was funny, wasn't it? It was funny, and now it's kind of like, oh shit, he's retweeting that. Oh, he's doing that. Okay, it's been a year now.
I know. There's people. Lives are affected.
Yeah, it's
real
scary.
lives are affected. Because even at the beginning when I was sort of like joked about it, I'm watching from afar. There were people going, "Well, we're in America, dude."
Yeah.
It's these people losing their jobs and being hated by their neighbour because of what someone said about it. It's like so it is serious. It is serious.
It's mental.
I was going to say, you're saying about as well pushing the boundaries, being edgier, and nowadays with the culture as well, I think people have changed since you started doing stand-up to now, and I think people are more easily offended, or like you say, they pander to it a bit more. Is it easier being edgier now?
But then do you think people are easily offended now, or is it just like you said, people have got Twitter, so they'll let you know now? Like back in the day when people...
Well, and they know that they can be heard. Now people can frighten people. They can go, "I'm offended," and there's someone to go, "Oh, someone's offended, we better do something."
Yeah.
Whereas, I think they use it to get their own way.
Yeah.
They know that someone will crumble or they can get something closed down. And what you want is for those people in charge to go, "Well, we're not going to crumble to that because everyone's different, everyone's got their own opinion, and you know, I like that saying that the only valid form of censorship is people's right not to listen, and that's we're talking about art or jokes. We're not talking about real lives.
Yeah,
You know, it's not your right to. That's the other thing people mistake. Like I go, you know, you can say what you want. Right? People go, so, oh yeah, what like Hitler did? Well, no, it wasn't so much what he said, was it? It was the shit he did. If he just said it, it wouldn't have been such of a problem, would it?
Anyway, this is a Christmas special somehow.
Merry Christmas.
So I want to ask you a few festive questions.
Oh, good.
What's a traditional day like for you and Jane at Christmas time?
Christmas.
Are you a fan of Christmas?
I love fucking Christmas.
Right.
It really is. It is a day off for me. Do you know what I mean? No one's working. I'm like Scrooge. I've got to enjoy myself. No, it really is. I've always loved Christmas. Typical day. We work up to it, and you know, we decorate the house, and we have a little soiree just before with friends, and then the day is I wake up, we open our presents. Oh, it's a
standard day.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day. Every day we open our presents. Yeah, exactly.
There is
it's like big in my house. I can do it. Yeah. We open our presents. We have a little drink. I mean, that is the only day that you can have a little gin and tonic at 10:30.
Yeah.
It used to be watch Noel Edmonds go round and give sick kids presents.
Yeah.
He's not
Don't
on
do that
anymore.
now, yeah.
No, I love all that. Oh, I love all that.
You really get involved.
Oh God, I love crying at 10:30 into a gin. he got his thing he wanted. That's a lovely start.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like working the way up to the 2:00 feast with
Yeah.
best of Top of the Pops. That's back now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the olden days, I was like, oh, I love this. Now I'm going, who's that? I really am the grand. Who's that? Rihanna. What? Still love it though.
Do you? Because your diet's changed a bit. What are you having for Christmas dinner now?
Tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
Nut roast. I mean, everything else is the same. You know, you've got all the lovely veg and all the, the parsnips and the caramelised potatoes.
Parsnips are the one.
Bread
sauce.
sauce.
When it's crispy and the chewy. Oh,
They are the one.
Come on.
Bread sauce. No?
Red sauce, yeah, good, yeah. Bit of gravy,
Bread sauce is
bit of veggie gravy, just as long as it's thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skin.
Yeah.
Fuck thin gravy. Oh, my girlfriend's mum has it's like water. It's like brown water. It's horrible.
No,
it's horrible.
not.
Is there?
You want bits in it, don't you?
I just want it to be so. I want it to be a solid.
Yeah. And then it's like at the end, it's like a mush that you scrape up with a bit of bread.
Just eat that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
no, it's even without real meat and even without the carcasses of murdered animals, the Christmas dinner can still be a joy.
What's the shittest present you've ever received or given?
I still get a chill down my spine when I think of the worst gift I've ever given.
Go on.
Well, I was too old to give a shit gift. You know,
Right.
when we got older brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
they give you good gifts because they're working, and you're a kid, you can get away with shit. But I remember when I was 14, I think my sister got me an album I wanted and a bird table and a science thing, and I got her a big bottle of shampoo, Londis, and it was like, oh cheers, like that, and I just thought, and it hit me. I go, I'm too old to do that. I'm too old to give a bottle of shampoo.
Oh, that's quality. My nan got me a pillow once, and all our cousins got pillows with stuff on they liked. So I got a car. I'd have no idea why. I've never been into cars. I got a car, and it was a Beetle, and the registration plate said Jake.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's not like it's a nan I never see. I see it all the time. It's like,
What's up, Jake?
When I was about 7 or 8, my auntie Edna, right? So when was this? So this was like, I don't know, 1968, 69, early days. So fiver was a good present. She gave me a fiver, right? Right, and in a card. Right, and my mum went, oh, £5. I was like, yes. Oh, wow. What are you going to give Auntie Edna? And I said, £4. She went, you can't give her £4. I went, why? She went, you can spend £4 on her, but you can't give her £4. I thought this is the perfect present. I'm up. We've both given each other a good fucking present there. £4. Come on, auntie, £4, 1968.
And I'm a kid.
Get yourself something nice, right? And I'm a kid. £1. £1 profit. Yeah.
That's quality. Worst present?
I was just thinking, the worst thing I used to do, because I used to always draw the cards, put a lot of effort in drawing them. I drew one from my dad, and I drew a picture, because my dad just likes to watch sport and sit there, and he used to smoke, and I just drew a picture of a fag packet on the card.
That's
so
great.
What does my dad like?
I know. Well, that was
got issues.
Everyone used to get my dad, half ounce of Old Holborn. It was like tobacco, things you'd buy anyway, but it's like saving money. You might as well give it like £5 bob. It's like really odd when it's like that is like a token. Although now, if you want to get me a gift, right, you can't go wrong with something like a bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey. I'll drink it eventually.
Yeah.
It's a nice gift.
Yeah.
It's not like going, the worst presents, I think, right? There's arrogant presents, like it's more about them than you.
Like your DVD.
There you go, fly fishing. Well, because you like fly fishing, I've got to fucking like fly fishing, right? Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or stressful presents, where it's like 10 lessons skydiving.
Yeah.
Fuck me, now I've got to go skydiving.
Yeah.
It's like fucking hell.
My girlfriend bought me 10 skiing lessons, and I've never been skiing. And it's a thoughtful present, and I like it, but I've still not been. It's a year on.
I know, but it's not so bad then. But when it's someone you
Because I
can't
can go
see,
with her, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But when they go, did you go on that skiing thing? Go,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. In the bin.
Yeah, like her mum really likes Tokyo Myers, the guy that won Britain's Got Talent. He's a pianist, and I said to her, I was like, I'll get you tickets to go see him, and she was like, I'm not going to London because of ISIS.
Right. When I remember I was 18, the first time I was going abroad, which was like I got a temporary passport and I was going to France for the day, right? And my mum said, what are you going to France for? There's parts of Reading you ain't seen. Which is good. Yeah. Isn't it?
So innocent as well.
So sweet.
Yeah.
There's no, but that is a mentality, I think particularly Brits and Americans, they think that there's no point. You don't need to see the world. We've got everything we need here. Ocado. You don't go out nowadays. Ocado and Netflix. Looking out. I never. In fact, lose the legs. I don't need these. Sell the legs. Sell the legs, put it towards Ocado and Netflix.
I just remembered this really sweet story that my sister did one Christmas. I was just old enough to know that Santa wasn't real, and she was just young enough to still believe in it. So my dad was like, okay, you go upstairs, go in her room, and then I'm going to be leaving with a sack of stuff, and I'll go into the night, and obviously dressed as Santa. And so I woke my sister up. I was like, look out the window. So she got up, she looked out the window, and my dad was going off with all this stuff, and she just turned to me and went, Santa's got the same trainers as Dad. I was like,
That's great.
How on earth did you even see that?
That's
you little
lovely.
shit? Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And then obviously because my dad smokes weed,
And he
and
never
then
came back.
he never came back. That's when he left. My dad smokes weed.
It was a lovely story. It's Christmas again.
Yeah. It robbed us.
Remember when Santa came and Dad didn't? Oh.
Dad smokes weed, and my sister was at school one day, and he calls weed his puff. And she was at school, and the teacher was blowing up these balloons, and the teacher turned to my sister and went, "Oh, I'm all out of puff." And my dad's got loads of that in his tin. In his tin.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Parents' evening was fucking awkward that year, that's for sure. Ricky, we're going to finish on some Twitter questions.
Go on.
And a quick word association game.
Okay.
So we're going to give you one word. I want to see what you.
The pressure.
Yeah, there's fucking pressure on
Edit
this.
it so I was really fast. I'm going to ponder. I'm going to go, well, what do you mean? What do you mean exactly?
So let's go for the Office.
What? That's one word, is it?
Huh?
You did the one word.
Oh,
yeah,
we
yeah.
started. I'm so sorry. Let's
go for
I thought it was an intro. Right, sorry. Go. Right, go.
One word to describe the Office.
Cringy.
Golden Globes.
Fun.
Trump.
Cunt.
Netflix.
Off. Easy.
America.
Glorious.
Slough.
Grey.
Say great or grey?
Grey.
Oh, okay. Vloggers. She's
Vloggers.
that
I
quick
don't
again.
know because I don't know enough about it. Enthusiastic, I think.
And finally, 2018.
The future.
That'll do. Fair play.
Oh, I called Trump a cunt.
That's all right.
Am I the first?
Okay, so we've got a few Twitter questions from people, and that'll be it. So, Mark West, would you rather live off of a diet consisting of only pork pies or Scotch eggs? The hard-hitting questions here. So obviously you don't eat neither now, but
Why no? Well, I suppose I'd have to go for the Scotch egg, so I could take the meat off and eat the egg. I suppose.
how are you staying true to now?
I think so. Oh, if I wasn't, what's nicer? If I wasn't,
Yeah.
No morals.
Yeah, we're in a world now where
I think it would still be the Scotch egg.
Would it?
Because the pork pie, you open a pork pie. First of all, the crust on a pork pie, it's not like pastry. It's like concrete.
Yeah, it's harder.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't like neither.
Oh, I
But
like that.
that thing that people like with that jelly on the inside, I always took that off.
You're going to let that settle and it's going to melt in, apparently.
Oh, really?
Room temperature. You're going to leave it there, then it settles and it keeps it moist.
And then what's the meat? I
yeah.
mean, what is the meat? It's grey. You should eat a pork pie without cutting open with your eyes shut. Because when you look and you go, well, what animal's grey on the inside?
It's from Slough.
I know. This pig was from Slough.
Sue Pottle says, if you were on your deathbed, I love this question, and could muster up the energy for one last action, but it had to be one of the following. Would you have a wank, or would you just shoot up some heroin? What would you go for?
Just to see what it's like.
You've got about half an hour left. You've only got energy to do one of those things.
I'm assuming, hoping I'm very old.
Yeah.
Right, well then, I think it's got to be the heroin.
Yeah, just to see.
Because if I'm sort of 87, with what they're like now, at 87, honestly, there'd be like a cross between silly putty. Honestly, it'll be fucking like, it'll be the stuff that goes into a pork pie. Honestly, it will look like stretched out, rancid offal, the last fucking turkey neck in the butcher shop, and I'll be trying to manipulate it. It'll be falling apart in my hands. So no, at 87, me masturbating is out of the question. Thanks for your questions.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas special. Yeah. There was another one, but I think we'll finish on that. Someone wanted to know if we could take an ugly bath-style pic together.
Could we?
Yeah.
Easy. Right.
Let's
Well,
do
you've
it.
got your phone.
Yeah.
Well, same chair, I think. I think you got on there.
Yeah.
Unless actually, a chair's good because it can really squash you. Hold on.
What, am I getting on here, am I?
Yeah. Get your head. there. Remember on this I was talking about dignity and shit. Fuck's
I'm actually
sake.
getting lockjaw now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Again, from being fat and the organs were already in my throat. He lost a kidney. How? He just sicked it up. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, fucking hell.
And then a parting question we like to leave people on.
Go on.
Imagine you're 100 years old.
Yeah.
You're in a home. Well, you won't be. You'll
Smacked out my head.
be cock in hand.
Offal just all over the place, just crumbs. The nurse comes in and goes, "What's all them crumbs?" I go, "Those are my testicles." Fuck off.
Hold it down for me.
Yeah, I'm 100 years old. Oh, fucking nurse. What? Clean up my testicles. Clean up my fucking testicles. Do they grow back?
Oh.
Right, come on, a little bit of heroin.
Oh,
Just dust puffing out the. Go on. What was your question, Parkinson?
It was a serious question.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Oh God! It's a serious question. Yeah.
No, it's
We're talking about famine. Go on. Yeah. Go on. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're 100. It's not serious. You're 100 years old.
Yeah.
You are looking back. You could be on your deathbed. You could be wherever you want. You're looking back on your career and your life. What was the one moment in which you thought, "Yeah, I've made it"? Has it happened yet? Do you need something else to happen, or is there one? How would you define it?
That's difficult to say because, as I said, all I've ever wanted to do was sort of be happy and do what I want, and I've always done that, even if that was, mucking around at school, or then thinking, oh, I've got to get my grades because I want to go to university, and then joining a band at university, and then just, I don't know, always, I don't know, I think most people can be happy, they just don't realise they can. When I had no money, because I wanted to be a rock star and I was struggling, I was happy because I was trying to be a rock star with no money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, it's about the journey. I don't think it's ever about the anger. You don't know when it's finished, you know,
Is that why you continue to do more and more?
Because I enjoy it.
You don't have to.
I wake up every day and I decide, what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
You know, outside, you know, responsibility, paying your taxes and going to the dentist, right?
Yeah.
I just think we're only here for, I don't know, well, 100 years apparently. I won't last 100 years, but that's nothing. You know, if we think the universe is like 13.4 billion years old, the Earth's 4.6 billion years old. You know, we're a blip. You know, we're trillions to one shot that we're here at all, and we're not going to exist ever again after this. So you've just got to enjoy yourself and not hurt anyone. And I think then you can't have regrets. You know, I don't think there would be. I can't imagine. Is there one thing that?
I think that's a lovely sentiment. I think it's a great way to finish.
I mean, I suppose deciding, if there's one big thing that, you know, it was deciding to be a comedian.
Yeah, making that choice.
I made redundant from XFM in like 1998, and I thought, I'm going to do this for a living. I remember waking up in my flat thinking, I'm a comedian now. I'm going to do, what do I do? And that was lovely, because that felt not only like a big change, but a big second chance. You know, I never thought at 18 I'd make my big move at 38 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd say it's never too late. That would be my regrets. All the things I thought that were too late. No point in learning a language. I'd be fluent now. And at 28, I thought I learned to play drums. Oh no, I can't learn to. I'd be fucking amazing now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It is never too late.
Yeah.
The only thing it's ever too late to do is when you're lying in bed and you're 87. It's too late to masturbate because they're on the fucking floor. Nurse, get these fucking bollocks on.
It was lovely until that moment. There we go. This has been a Christmas special of the Chatmate podcast. Tom Norris, thank you very much. Ricky Gervais.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you very much. And there's a real handshake. There we go. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'll offer a Scotch egg.
Yeah, that's a euphemism.